That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Good Boys, which opens Friday, August 16th, courtesy of Universal Studios, or Universal Pictures. It's the directorial debut of Gene Stupnitsky, who wrote it with Lee Eisenberg, and notably they wrote Bad Teacher, the 2011 Cameron Diaz film.
Yes.
Which you are a fan of. I'm a fan of.
Minus Justin Timberlake. He's dead to me.
Yes, but for, Cameron Diaz is...
But I do enjoy that movie.
Surprisingly quite good.
Yes. So the premise of Good Boys is 3 12-year-old 6th grade boys who are best friends are invited to a kissing party. So they need to...
Learn how to kiss.
But in doing so, they get themselves into a little bit of trouble.
A very convoluted bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Vaguely calamitous and profane. Mm-hmm. Lukewarm profanity.
Lukewarm, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the discussions we've had so far about this film are one, it's skirting with being taboo.
Well, so let's just start off by saying this... I did laugh a lot.
Yeah, and it's very sweet. Like
it's sweet.
Yeah,
the 3 young men are really charming, really sweet.
Yeah,
they give good performances, so I did enjoy them. So that's it. If a person goes to see this movie, they're sure to laugh and probably feel like it's a sweet, heartwarming story. Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
But for such like convoluted shenanigans, the moral of the story is very, very simple, saccharine, simple, sweet. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
So I guess my biggest issue with the film is seeing 3 11 to 12-year-old boys using profanity, talking about adult themes, being involved in adult themes is considered taboo.
Mm-hmm. Well, the fact that they couldn't see this film on their own.
Themselves. Yeah, the fact that, these boys, which we talked about earlier, there are a lot of films that contain adult content that also contains children. But I think in this instance, it's being used as comedy. It just feels inappropriate, which, we're not going to debate on whether or not it is or not. I think the issue is, for me, if I were going to cross the line, I would go all the way.
Yeah.
And this film does not go all the way.
It tries to, have its cake and eat it too. There's these kids are using, adult language and being exposed to things that apparently they're naive about. But I also don't believe that they would be naive about some of those things.
Well. That part I don't agree with. I don't think that's important whether or not they could or could not be naive to it. I just think that the jokes that lie in the fact that these 6th grade boys are talking about adult things, so they're just cheap laughs.
Yeah. Like
saying fuck and cum and anal beads and it's like good for an easy laugh, but it gets a little tedious after a while.
Well, it does because it doesn't have anything more to go on, and so
and these boys are smart and they're sweet, so it obviously elicits a laugh. Versus if you had like 3. Well, I don't know, because Bad Mouth, which is a cartoon.
Yeah, but those are adults voicing those cartoons.
Sure, but
those also when something's animated, it allows a greater distance between it. But it's very safe, and also that it's a very privileged environment. All these kids are very well looked after. This would obviously look a lot different with children from a different socioeconomic class.
I don't know. Because that's assuming that kids from a lower socioeconomic class don't have good parenting.
No,
and actually in this film, these kids...
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm like, there would be... these kids also aren't very savvy.
But what does that have to do with? I don't know.
I think they're very comfortable. They lead very comfortable lives, and the challenges that they face in this are there's nothing at stake. This isn't like Kids by Larry Clark, obviously, but I don't know. There's just nothing to lose.
I'm just thinking more like, you know, a similar sort of thing would be like Bad Mouth. And I know it's a cartoon, but it crosses the line. And I know those are adults voicing the children, but I guess I wanted this film, like it's already inappropriate and tasteless or tactless. Mm-hmm. And whatever a person's opinion on whether or not kids should be talking this way, aside from that, I just feel like it's obviously crossing a line, but it's like dipping its toe across the line for cheap laughs. So yes, you could delve into all that. I don't know.
Well, because of the social circles there, and everything's very forgivable. Like these girls that are trying to get them all. So even if we got this far, and the extra things going on in the plot is these boys, in order to learn how to kiss, use Max, played by Jacob Tremblay's dad, who's Will Arnett, use his drone, which he was explicitly told not to spy on these girls next door to watch them kiss. And the girls get the drone, and then, you know, he has to get the drone back. They won't give it back, so they steal her purse, and it's got this Molly in it.
Okay.
So what ends up happening, all these shenanigans ensue, and the girls buy the only other drone in town that the boys could also get their hands on, just so they can get two like Molly tabs for $600, which is, I don't know.
The basic story is ridiculous. I don't know that it needs to involve privilege and socioeconomic. I just think it's just a silly story. Like, why would these girls put so much effort in and spend $600 for 2 pills of Molly? But, you know, they needed something, I guess, to get these kids into these scenarios. I feel like it's lazy comedy. Mm-hmm. I really wanted it to be pushed further. Like, if these boys never learn how to kiss, by the way. They end up going to this party and only the one kisses the girl, but they never practice on anything or even really saw people kissing. So I feel like if they wanted to be edgy, these kids could have gone to like see a prostitute. They could have like...
Well, they do practice on a sex doll that they think is a CPR doll.
Well, practice. Kind of. The one kind of gives a kiss on the lips, but then it tastes salty and has hair in it. So obviously, you know, there's a lot of innuendo, but it's like, does there need to be innuendo? This is a rated R comedy that is using all the explicit language and all the themes. Just say it. Mm-hmm. Just say it. Like I wish they would have had like an older accomplice, like an older boy who could have like explained a lot of things to really take it to the next level. Because it's just like...
So really it's only rated R for language.
Right. Yes. And I'm not saying I want to see kids having sex. I just think that they could have really pushed it more than what it is. If it weren't for the sort of gratuitous use of the F word, this movie would be PG-13. Mm-hmm. So that to me just seems like...
And it's also, you know, not that everything has to be all-inclusive, but they don't push any other kind of boundaries either.
We talked about this already, yeah. Like, I mean, the one character... So the boys' names are Max, Lucas, and Thor. Mm-hmm. So Max is kind of the leader. He's also the one... He's the smallest one, but he also happens to be the one whose hormones are raging the most. Mm-hmm. So he's the only one who likes girls. Lucas is the black one, mm-hmm. and he's like the sweetest one. He seems to be the most reasonable. And then there's Thor, who, you know, from my gay eye, seemed like he was gay. He wants to sing. He's very concerned about seeing all the popular boys at this party. Mm-hmm. He's sensitive. I didn't need him to be gay. I just assumed he would be gay. So the fact that he wasn't seemed kind of like, okay, I mean... Whatever, it's fine. There are
two sets of lesbians.
There are kind of.
There's a reference lesbian, and then there's girls holding hands.
Sure. So I mean, I didn't need anyone to be gay for it to be edgy. I just this film could have done a lot more with its rated R.
It did,
or with its R rating.
It ultimately does feel very much like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah. And I'm not going to get into how I kind of think it's weird that these kids were saying these things. And, you know, I'd be curious to like see like an interview with the parents of these kids talking about like them, you know, reading these lines and wondering what these things mean.
How the script made them feel.
How the script made them feel. I definitely believe in like teaching children the facts of life as soon as they're aware. So I don't think it's weird if an 11-year-old wants to know about anal beads or sex dolls, or it just seems like this film feels very juvenile. It feels like something like some 20-something-year-old boys would think is funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they were all, whoever wrote this film, like they were drinking or high and just thought like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we made a film about 3 young boys who were like super bad or Pineapple Express or...
Well, it's from the producers of Superbad, Neighbors, and Sausage Party.
Sure. So it's very obvious to me. Like it's lazy comedy. It's really easy to make something funny when you have like a 12-year-old saying fuck and mispronouncing cum and anal and... Yeah, so
the irony is that they know the meaning of the swear words, but nothing else about the world around them.
So I did laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Because it is funny.
And the boys, each of them are very sweet, and there's some very heartfelt moments, but the messages of the film is just that your friends at these stages in life are based solely on propinquity. So, and these boys have that epiphany about it, and then that's about it.
Yeah. It's not as heartfelt as I think it could have been.
It could have been.
It's sweet, but
I think if it had been a darker comedy, there would have been more points to punch some poignancy in there.
Yes, I think I was expecting like a dark comedy that was really pushing boundaries. This is just like basic middle school, like foolery and fuckery. So for that reason, I would give it 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I'd 2.5.
But it's funny. If you go see it, you'll laugh. It's worth the price of admission. I just don't think it's edgy or...
and I'm wondering...
Or like comedic genius.
I think the running time is 89 minutes, and I'd be willing to bet there's some outtakes or some plot strands that maybe didn't make it in there, but...
Yeah.
Oh well, this is what we have to work with.
Anyway, do you have anything else?
No, I mean, if you want to talk about, like, Lil Rel is in it as... Lucas's father, and Retta, who I forgot was from Parks and Rec, or his parents.
That's right. Yeah. She is from Parks and Rec.
And a shout out to Michaela Watkins, who's in one scene as the lady who sells the drone.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you've seen her in tons of stuff. She pops up. She's also in about to be seen in Brittany Runs a Marathon, and she's got a much larger role in that. But Wanderlust with Jennifer Aniston. She's usually on the sidelines, but she's always, she's hilarious. But
she didn't have much to do in this.
She didn't. She has like 2 lines, but
yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.